Hey guys, Legend3 here, and welcome to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile on my Elemental Hero deck. This is not a master variant, it literally is Elemental Hero, so this is a fusion based deck. Let's get on to it. 2 Avian, simply because Avian has 2 fusions in this deck, Flame Wingman and Wild Wingman. So simple fact, I want to, if I can't get my one Avian back, at least I've got another one in deck that I can search and use to go into that other fusion, being Wild Wingman and Flame Wingman. So there we go. Burst Intrix for Flame Wingman. It's a fire which helps getting into Nova Master. Clayman to nerf, so that's target for Gaia as well as Thunder Giant. Sparkman, target for Plasma Vice, as well as the Shining, Thunder Giant, obviously. It's quite nice, just starting off with the vanilla heroes. Wild Heart, unaffected by traps, which is nice, target for Gaia and Wild Wingman. I like to run the original heroes, simply because they have, in my personal opinion, quite a bit of fun fusions. And it's just a nice thing that we can do. Overman, special summon. Yeah, possibly draw 2 if you're lucky. I've had lucky times when I've gotten it to happen, but very rare. But just honestly, it's just a water target for absolute 0. And surprise, surprise, Elemental Hero Mariner. People run that? Yeah. Well, I am at least. I like Mariner. If I was running Mudball Man, I'd say that, but I'm not. Necroshade, Engrave. It's a nice card because it knows that target for Dark Bright, which you need for Dark Bright and Sparkman. That's another thing for Sparkman I forgot about. The good thing is about it is that in Graveyard you can actually go as normal summon Blade Edge or Neos without attributing. So I think that's quite nice, you know, just level 7s without attributing too. Speaking of Blade Edge, Plasma Vice. Yeah, Plasma Vice, and obviously it's a nerf target, it's a Gaia, and when it attacks, does piercing. Yeah, well, it attacks in defense mode anyway. It's quite a nice card, and with Necroshade, you can kind of go and do that pretty easy and get him out. Prisma, I'm only running 1 Prisma. As you notice, there's a lot of 1-offs, except for Avian. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I've actually played tested this deck a lot, and it's working, so I'm happy. Shouldn't work the way of how well it does, but it does. But basically, Prisma can become anything. And that's the main gist you just need to know, is that you reveal fusion, and if it's got specific materials, like for example Flame Wingman, you can choose Avian or Burst Intrix to send to the grave. It becomes the target, aka fusion. The nice thing about it also is that if someone like Effect Veilers it or Skull Drains it or whatever, your effect to send to the grave still goes through, and you, even when it's negated, you can still do it. Yeah, so if it's got a Skull Drain constantly, and you can still do it, you can still send, which is nice. So you can fill up your grave with whatever you want. I know it's not something that's common people know, but it is an actual fact that you can do that, which is very handy. Hopefully, yeah, they don't negate it because you would like the name, but the name is the effect of the skill, but the cost is sending. So, yeah. It's just a little bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Knowledge for you lot there. Then, my ace. Well, okay, so for people who don't know, and that's kind of a bit typical, my favourite card actually in this game is Elemental Hero Neos. Just because I do think Neos looks really cool, and my favourite archetype is the Neospatians, and I love the contact fusions and stuff like that. So I can do a Neospatian deck profile at some point. when I get to that for you guys. Blazeman, just one of... He's able to search for poly upon normal summon, or mill and become a certain attribute and gain the attack and defense of whatever that monster is. So you can mill Neos, he becomes 2/5 and 2000 defense. And then he'll also become a light attribute. He is a very good card in my personal opinion, but one of, because he's searchable. But next card that we're going to get to is a lot better, and just overall 10 times better for hero decks. 2 Vision Hero Vion. He's searchable Rhoda. He's searchable Shadow Mist, but he's basically on normal summon. So you know Blazeman's like Send to the Grave effect. Yeah, he does that upon normal summon. And then what's that? You want to banish a hero from your grave, and gives you a poly. It's basically a Blazeman's effect reversed in a way, but it's just very nice, simple. You can send your Shadow Mist adds a card, and then banish your Shadow Mist to get a poly. And actually, if you're playing the original fusions like I am, and you want to summon them, it actually can become quite nice, just being able to go into it. And actually, I do think Vion is one of the best cards we've got for heroes at the moment. 2 Shadow Mist. You'd think I'd run 3. Honestly, 2 is enough. I never felt, in all my time of playing this deck so far, I never felt that I needed 3. Usually the game was over, or I just, because I mean I can with Vion mill other stuff, like I can mill Necroshade, but Shadow Mist is the main target. But like I said, I never felt 3 was needed. 2 always got me by. Yeah, feel free to play this deck if you want and test it at 3. I was playing it at 3 for a little bit, but I just never felt the need. 2 Honest Neos. So I got distracted by something quickly. Basically drop becomes 2/5. Yeah, but the monster you drop gets down to 2/5, and if it's on the field, which is very rare that you ever get it on the field, you can ditch your hero in your hand, and it gains the attack points of that. So that's a very nice card for heroes. And I called it that there was going to be a hero, a honest hero, a long time ago among a couple of mates, and it happened. So happy. Summon a Monk. So you can go in defense mode, you can ditch a spell card and summon out whatever. It's level 4 or lower. Nice thing about it is you can summon Vision Hero Vion, you can summon out Blazeman, Shadow Mist, whatever. Just summon something. I don't run ranks, but I run Deco Talker, which is also sets you up for a link, you know, quite nicely. I wish I had 2 though, I will admit. Now, the next card is just something I always do. Winkaribo. Yeah, I know. So, okay, this isn't really like a super serious deck profile. A mate of mine gave me Winkaribo ages ago. Trolling me with that Yugi, you know, like, this card belongs to me bullshit and all that stuff. But no, going on to it, this card basically, if you don't know what it does, weirdly, when this card's on the field is destroyed, sits to the grave, the effect of activated, and after activation during that turn, no battle damage can be dealt to me, which is nice. It's a good card. Honestly, I could probably put in an extra Shadow Mist for it, or not an extra Honest Neos. He gave me the card ages ago, and I kind of keep it in the deck because of that. I guess a bit out of respect. I don't know if respect's really the right way to put it, but I do treasure it. I do play it in my decks, and hey, it saves me every time I seem to get into a bad situation. I'm just like, draw. Oh, I guess I'm surviving an extra turn because Winkaribo. But yeah, honestly, like, Also, it's a bit of fun. So a bit of Jade and Yuki fun. Alright, now we're going spells. Double poly. It's a fusion deck. Searchable, obviously. But you need poly to do things. Now, the next target is a one of. You're gonna think, what? What? Yeah. Well, one Miracle Fusion. And there's only one reason for this. Prepare to facepalm. I refuse to use my common version that I have because I can't find the holo. So I got this thing that I do. I'm kind of the same on Hearthstone, if you don't know Hearthstone, you get the gold versions of cards, which are literally just the same card, doesn't do anything different. But I won't run a common version, the normal version, and then a gold version. I will only ever do both golden or both normal. And because I have one more of this, but I can't find it. So I'm running only one. But actually, honestly, only one is actually ever needed. I've never ever needed 2 Miracle Fusions, which I would just be being very lucky. But in all the games I've played with this and actually won, Miracle Fusion never really aided me ever. I think one time when I went to The Shining, but that was it. I didn't need it past that. Fusion recovery. So if I don't pull, so remember how I was talking about Avian. If I don't get Avian, so if I only had one Avian, I was talking about if I don't get fusion recovery, I can't go into the other fusion. So basically, this was my main reason. I was talking about it. So fusion recovery is only at 1. I've only never needed it at 1. I think 2 is just too much, personally. Defusion. It defuses stuff. There's actually a cool thing that you can do with defusion. So if you know when someone attacks you, if you defuse, you get the... Right, let me try and see if I can explain it right. So when you defuse, is that they get to redeclare an attack because there's 2 different monsters on the field. However, if you defuse during damage step, so when they get their brilliant part, so they go into battle phase, they attack, so the attack declaration happens, and then there's a damage step. During the damage step, if you play defusion, they actually can't redeclare their attacks, which is quite nice. And because you can't redeclare your attack, they can't redeclare, it can be just a nice out of, I don't know, surviving a blue eyes or whatever. That's basically going to kill you thing. But obviously defusing and then going for an attack to finish off the game with multiple attacks can work nice. And you can also dodge things with it, like a magic cylinder. You can dodge mirror force a bit because you can just put them in defense mode when you bring them back. And it's just quite a nice card to run. I like to try and run it as finishers personally. Triple equal because we're a hero deck and we need to search. So searching we shall. Search we shall. But yeah, basically add an E-hero as a hand. And then reinforcement of the army. Yup. It's just where to search it. Level 4 lore. Also a really random note that most people don't ever know. This will be like non-Neospatian fans who won't know about this. Neospatian Aqua Dolphin is a warrior, so you can add it with reinforcement of the army. I know. I mean, it's just I'm not playing Neospatians, but thought I'd tell you, because why not? Hatred Heart, plus 500 and piercing. It's just nice. I honestly think that like if you've got out a Shining Flare Wingman and it's really really big and you just got that Heated Heart, give it to the monster. Oh look, I'm just gonna pierce now. Why not? It's actually a really good card. Oh, Oversoul, bring back a Neos or a normal hero, which you can use then to use fusion, which is a very cool thing. It is only a normal hero though. Skyscraper. you know, as Jaden says himself, a hero needs a field. Basically, if you don't know what he does, when an elemental hero attacks, if the thing is attacking is stronger than it gains plus 1000 power. It's a very powerful card, and I seem to always draw it and luck out, because as all my mates will tell you guys, I seem to be very lucky. I don't know why. I do have quite a bit of luck going my way, especially with this deck. It's the inner Jaden, I'm sure. Skydive Scorcher. This card's kind of an interesting one. It's basically, if you have Skyscraper, nuke the board. And if you don't, nuke the highest attacking monster. And they take damage to it. So it's basically a Flame Wingman effect, in a way. Because, as you notice, I haven't got any searches for Skyscraper, I have been looking for my Captain Golds, but I can't seem to find any at the moment. So this deck will probably get edited at some point. But this card, that even if you don't have Skyscraper, still being able to take away the most strongest thing they have, and then they dealt the damage, can still even just win you the game. So, and also though, one restriction, you do need an E-Hero Fusion Monster on the field, and that Fusion Monster has to be weaker than what they have. But however, that's not too big a deal. You have Mariner, just summon that. I'm sure, Miracle Fusion can obviously aid you there. But overall, it's been, it's not too bad of a card. It helped me out, 2 times. Other than that, I just seem to ditch it for Summoner Monk. Fifth Hope. Target, so shuffle, basically select 5 E-Heroes, put it back in your deck, shuffle, and draw 2. This is more just for recycling my fusion materials. It's a pot of avarice for heroes, basically. I would run Legacy of the Hero, but also do have it. Actually, honestly, I've using it all the time. I never found any use for it, ever. I never got out 2 heroes to be in my graveyard. Usually, the game would have been finished before I got 2 in there. Raigeki, destroy everything. It's a nice board clear. And Soul Charge, bring back a bunch of shit. That's literally all it is. You gotta pay 1,000 for it though, but who cares? Bring back your Neos, your Blade Edge, Honest Neos. Why not? Bring back both Honest Neos and Neos to Blade Edge, and a Clayman, because why not? It's Clayman, which is always, he's the champion of everything. I don't know, some fusion wants to. Anyway, going on to traps. Now the first trap is going to be like a. So what? What? Why? You're crazy. And then I'm going to be like, yeah, I am crazy. And then we'll have this constant conversation about us being crazy. Be cool. So, Macrocosmos? I'll let you guys get it out, get out your rage of questioning. Go for it. Are you done? Cool. So I actually have a reason for this. So I don't want to run Dark Lord, but I can't deny the banish effect. The banish effect of Dark Lord does damage some decks, and I admit that. But I don't want to run Masked Hero in this deck. So this is my Dark Lord, I guess, in a way. If you don't know what it does, basically, when it's called resolves, you can special summon 1 Helios from the type of Sun card. No one cares about that effect. The main part of that is that while this card's face of the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. The thing about this is very important. Is I not only do I have the Shining is going to be really nice, but there are some cards that, for example, when I fought Ancient Gears are very powerful. They have some cards that activate when they're in the graveyard. This can stop this. Anything that activates in the graveyard specifically, this can punish. And it doesn't entirely punish you too badly, because if you're smart and you know how to play around your own Macrocosmos, which is weird that you have to play around your own card, if you're smart around it, you can end up getting out the Shining. And you have to play at the right time. You can't just go Macrocosmos and expect it to do good for you. you have to play it at the right time. You've got to make sure you've done what you need to do. So it is it's not situational, it's just more timing it right, where you can timing it right when you can damage your opponent the most, but you can most get benefit out of it yourself. And that Ancient Gear player, he went for a play, and I timed Macrocosmos to his play, so basically he would end up banishing all his cards, and for me, I was perfectly fine, because then I just went for the Shining and went for game. So there we go. Alright, next card is Floodgate Chapel. The reason being Floodgate Chapel, if you don't know what it does, is when your opponent summons a monster, change that monster face down defense position. Monsters changed face down defense position by this card effect cannot change. And this is quite nice because Blade Edge is a piercer, so screw them lot. This is actually kind of really good also, especially in Link format, which, yes, you might think, wait a minute, but you can't put down Link monsters. Yes, you're right, you can't. You can't. That's a good point. But not everyone is adjusting to Link at the moment. There are still a lot of decks, including mine, but we're still in an early format of it, and we're not entirely adapted to it yet. So, what is great about Floodgate Trap Hole is that if they go for an Exceed Summon, Fusion Summon, or whatever, if you Floodgate them, they still have a spot that's blocked. They can't use their extra deck again. They can't actually go into. They can't even tribute that monster for a Link because it doesn't have a value. So overall, because of that, they just basically stick. You can then use that to your advantage to set up as much as you want without having to worry about them using some broken ass Link monster or some broken ass Link monster or fusion or whatever it is they're summoning. So it's just nice. Solemn Warning, pay 2k, negate summons. It's a pretty good card. I like it. Honestly, it's one of the best cards in the deck. Just being able to negate a summon. It's basically 3 of my trap cards are basically negating summons, sort of. Well, not negating, one's just cancelling. Not cancelling. Putting one face down. But it's pretty good. This deck tries to just stall for time as much as it can, so it can just do some explosive plays. Alright, let's get Fusion deck. Flame Wingman. Fusion summon of Avian and Burstinatrix. Basically, whenever it kills something, they're going to take their that monster's attack points as damage. So attack an Ancient Gear Golem. If you have Skyscraper up, because this is a 2-1, it's not going to beat over that unless it's got a Skyscraper going up. Attack, boom, they're going to take 3k damage. So there we go. Its evolution, Shining Flare Wingman. So it's literally the same effect, but it's got an additional effect, basically giving you 300 plus attack points for every elemental hero in your graveyard. And late game, this card can become very powerful. I mean, even early game, you can get it up to like 4,000, which is already, and that's early game. Think about what it can do late game. There we go. Dark Bright, Fusion, I should say Flame Wingman and Spark Mana for those. For Shining Flare. And Spark Mana and Necro Shade for this. When it attacks, it has to go to defense mode. When it dies, kill something on their board. So it's basically really a spiteful card, it just spitefully kills whatever kills it. Wild Wingman. Wild Wingman Avian. Discard a card, destroy a back row. It's not bad. It's my MST, effectively. Thunder Giant. Discard a card in equal to 2/4 or less of the original attack. So basically, the original attack of them. So let's say it's a Black Rose Dragon. Just going to use that as an example. And they play 4 Animalis. It's on 3k. Cool. But its original attack still 2-4. So you can discard a card and kill their monster, which is quite nice. And obviously the fusion material for that is Sparkman and Clayman. Its better counterpart is Plasma Vise, Sparkman and Blade Edge. Basically discard a card and destroy an attack position monster. And it does piercing. So, pretty good. Go, Mariner! I know. You can question me. I actually had a reason for this, and it was weird in mindset. But have you ever thought the fact that it attacks directly with a possibility for an Honest Neos? Yeah, you think about that. I had a thought about it, and that sounds pretty good. You could do some powerful direct damage, and if they're on like 3k left or something, and you've got some like big beat stick that you can't get over, and you can go for Mariner. Just go with that, drop an Honest, and go win. Honest Neos, of course, but still, I mean, that's pretty good. So it's gonna be a nice finisher in its own weird way. Fusion of Avian and Bubbleman. Then Neos Knight. So it can gain it gains half the attack of whatever he fusion summons with. He can attack twice. However, he can't deal damage because he's not the anime. Sad days. But look at my ulti rare. Be proud. I'm not a rarity core at all, guys. Just saying. Absolute Zero. When it leaves field, nuke the board. Well, no, nuke the monsters. It's a good card. People don't know how to play against this card sometimes. It's quite funny. Shining. So Shining Flare Wingman has monsters engraved. This guy's like, screw that. I'm going to go for the banished version. So basically he is for every card banished against that's an elemental hero banished. He gains 300 attack. Macrocosmos makes this card insane. So if you know how you're playing your deck and you can play your cards right, you can actually plan for a shining turn that can make it even better. So there you go. Silver Master. Destroy something by battle, draw a card. I like the card a lot. It's a great card. Great Tornado. When summoned, half everything. It's an amazing card, and it's... Oh, by the way, just to let you know, if you don't know heroes very well, the Omni heroes all fuse with an E hero and the corresponding attribute that they are. So, for example, this is a Wind and Elemental hero. Just going back to Nerdmaster quickly. You bug out of there. You can see here, one E hero monster and one fire monster. And the Shining, one E hero and one light. Now Absolute Zero is a bastard, and he's like, it's cool, I'm different. He's just got the restriction here, as you see, one hero monster and one water monster. So you can use Vion as the hero target for this, but it's the only one that works. And Neos Knight is a warrior monster. And Neos, just to let you know. But yeah, basically halving everything is just nice. Gaia is basically one elemental hero and an earth monster, and when it's fusion summoned, targets something on the field, it halves that attack and it gains the attack. So basically if you attack that thing that you half, you're dealing 2,200 damage. So it's basically direct damage in a way. Escaridao, one element hero monster and a dark monster, and it gains 100 for each one in the grave, in your graveyard, which is basically just a really small Shining Flare Wingman in a sense. It starts at 2/5 base, which is not bad. So 5 heroes in grave is 3,000, which is not too bad. But it's a better late game card. And now my link monster that I run is the Godorka. I honestly just barely go into it. If you don't know what it does, somehow, for whatever it points to, it gains extra attack, 500 attack, and it contributes something to negate a card that it's connected to, mind you. The reason I don't go into Decode Talker much is because Decode Talker, for me personally, isn't really needed. Your deck doesn't need link monsters, it's an option. So that's something you have to remember. And obviously, with Defusion, I can technically go into it really easy. One card I am not running, as you saw, but I'm thinking of putting in this build and taking out maybe Neos Nightfall, is Elemental Hero Core, because if I fuse 3 monsters together and then defuse, I get 3 monsters, which is nice, but I can also go into a Decode Talker. Something I'm working on and planning, stuff like that. But that's the deck profile, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I know the Winkaribo is a bit random, I know, but I've got to have that Jade and Yuki fun, trolling them people who see Winkaribo face up and think, why is this person running it? And I'm like, why are you not running it? It's like amazing. Anyway, other than that, I hope you really enjoyed it. Post any comments on opinion apart from the Winkaribo, so I know you guys are going to bash it. Or not. But yeah, just post what you think of the deck. And any cards that you think that would actually be good in the deck, something I haven't spotted. I'm thinking of running, and I want your opinion on this, guys. I'm thinking about bumping Clayman up to 3 and getting a Rescue Rabbit so I can go into Mrs. Radiant instead of a Decode Talker. Tell me what you guys think of that. And I definitely would like your opinion. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the crazy deck. Just, spreading it out. Can't even figure out which one's Winkaribo. Is it you, right? There he is. There's my pal. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? I would like your opinion, and hope you guys enjoyed. And peace. See ya.